Game on.
It's a good game.
All right. Welcome back to the Wileyverse. We're continuing our foray into Savage Riffs with Deyton and Mitch, our rogue dog boy, and Burster. Surprised you haven't burned off his hair yet.
Well, I just gained a level, so it might be a possibility.
It could happen. It could happen this game. So.
Oh, we talked about that briefly before we got started, that I should tell you that you can smell when I'm about to do something wrong. That would be the one.
Yeah,
Because I thought I was going to be able to do that. So now that I will be able to, kind of explode, you should be able to know that that's going to happen.
So,
in smell sulfur.
The last session, they had entered Wreckville, which is a coalition sympathizer town in name only. They kind of do their own thing. The last bastion of a free city before they get to coalition state Chi-Town. They had picked up several rumors, one of which was a pack of dog boys and a side stalker going around and abducting or arresting children because they were magical or DBs or whatever excuse they wanted to make. And our dog boy smelled something foul with that. That's not the MO of dog packs. They kill or chip or arrest. They don't capture and take with. It's not their style. So they had just gone out and found that this was a rogue pack that was abducting these kids for some reason. They saved the kids at high personal cost for some of them. Someone got pretty wrecked. Because they can't hurt the children.
I was being careful.
And now they're heading back to town with a busload of children that have been recently abducted. And as you are approaching, the Shani had gone ahead of you to report what was going on, to let them know that you're coming back with this busload of kids from everyone. And the Cutters League, the security for the town, that mercenary company that they've hired for security, is up in force outside waiting for you.
Great. Anytime you say the word in force, I'm like, oh,
yeah.
God.
That's why Shani's ahead. She's supposed to be like, hey, no, it's not bad.
It's not terrible.
We're bringing kids back.
It's true, I know. We're coming back in a bus painted like a skull.
So, as you approach, you are stopped outside of the gates before you can even get into town proper. And you see they've got some heavy hitters out here. They've got a couple heavy weapon teams set up on the towers outside the gates, which weren't there when you left. This is obviously an emergency situation. Let's put up some big guns. These guns, if they tear into this bus, would just disintegrate it and you. You're approached, some Cutters League enter the bus and kind of inspect what's going on, and they're there to vet your claims that you have these children. Mm-hmm. You have the children, and that's when you finally meet Captain Tate. Captain Tate, do you have that marked down as his name, Captain? Mm-hmm. The Captain? I don't remember if you made a note of that or not. Because you were talking to Corporal Aaron.
You asked to talk to the captain, and he told you he wasn't available. I don't know if you wrote it down or not.
Doesn't look like I did.
Okay.
Why did you capitalize the R and the W?
Don't worry about
it. I'm just being a subtle dick in the background.
So it's Captain Tatum. Captain Tatum is there in his armor. He's kind of pushing the limits on this armor's buckles and seals. He's
obviously fat, or
okay. He's husky. He's not. He's like what was that guy's name from Starship Troopers? the teacher that ends up catching the brain bug at the end.
Oh, that's
that guy. Like, you know, used to be, you know, a buff guy, but now he's kind of like older and let himself go a little bit much. Yeah. The enemy cannot push a button if you disable his hand. Medic. So he's just a bigger guy, and he's just obviously not seen field duty in a while.
Lieutenant, continue punishing the cadet.
Behind him is Corporal Aaron. Corporal Aaron. He gets you out of the bus. He's not getting on the bus. He wants to speak to you outside. And they kind of like, he's got all his men around, but the captain and the corporal kind of take you down the end of the bus away from everyone.
Me or him?
But all of you.
Sorry, I was like, you said that like right at me. I was like,
but yes, all of you like away. And this is like, you know, kind of a weird situation because like right now they could just take the bus away from you and do whatever they want with it because they're moving you away from your prize, essentially.
I mean, but it's full of children, though, so it's not really a prize yet.
Well, you hope that they don't just...
Right.
So, the captain says, well, you big damn heroes have put me in quite the bind here. You see that, right?
Sorry, not sorry.
Well, I mean, we don't want to stir up trouble and some coalition forces come here with coalition paperwork. We don't ask too many questions.
Well, I can tell you that they're most likely not going to be followed up on because they weren't acting on any coalition order.
Well, it's good to know, but that ain't going to ease the hearts of all the people that have lost children for the last 5 years under our noses.
I don't want to be a dick, but it doesn't sound like my job at all. It sounds like your job. But, So precision script, can I just be like, is there some way that I can spin this in the roll, or do I need to come up with a way to spin it in the roll?
Either way, if you can come up with a way to spin it, you tell me. If you just want to roll to see if you can figure something out,
let's tell him that. Like, I'm trying to persuade him to think that we acted outside of the city's jurisdiction, which means the city wasn't liable if we failed. So in other words, like, you know, if we had come back and it was like, oh, it was coalition, they could have turned us in. Or we wouldn't have come back.
Now, that is a great point.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to roll. That point gets delivered.
Okay.
But, but everyone saw you enter our precinct house and ask them questions about them kids.
Tell you what, send me some credits. Tell them you hired me.
And that's when Corporal Aaron speaks up. Says, technically, they've been checking in every day. They're on my payroll already.
Ding, ding, ding.
So...
Might be time for a bonus.
So, Captain Tatum is like, well, all right.
Everybody.
So not just that you were on our payroll, but I sent you out to investigate these because I smelled foul. Would you be willing to say that is what happened?
I don't see why not.
It's like, you buy me a beer, I'll say whatever you want. It's been a long night. That seems alright. It seems like there's no power loss, no harm, no foul. You guys got what you needed. We got what we needed. I mean, we could use some more steak fingers in his sleep, you know. I think maybe you might be able to smooth that out for us.
The opposite of start trouble, so
upon agreement to this scenario, they ask you to, they put you in one of their vehicles and drive you to the precinct and get one of their guys to drive the bus to the precinct and start going and getting like the parents for all the kids. But they sit you guys down and fill out some paperwork. You guys have to make some signatures and make some statements. But I don't know if you wrote down what the standard pay was, but I think it was like 3,000 credits.
I think it was 40,000.
It was 1,000 credits a person, right?
Yeah, it was 1,000 credits a person. Yeah.
So you each get 1,000 credits a person, plus they take a whole bunch of the danger pay options. So you guys end up with $2,000 apiece individually for this first mission underneath the Cutters League.
That makes up for all the stuff I bought you guys.
Yeah. You do have to negotiate if you want to keep the bus, though.
We'll talk about that later. Unless it's negotiating at the moment.
It is, but we can determine what happened later, because they're like, we're going to take the bus, we're going to take... Like, they want to confiscate all the gear, but you're like...
No.
Actually, Corporal Aaron came to your rescue and said, no, the salvaging rights are all on
that makes sense.
our hired help, but the vehicle and all that.
We still have our quads, right?
You still have your quads.
Do you want to take the bus?
I mean, right now it's a huge asset. Like, that's money. Like, that's straight up money. And if not, even if you choose to keep if you choose to sell the quads and keep the bus, it's carrying the water filtration unit, that radio relay unit. Like, there's some big equipment in there that is also big ticket.
I say one or the other. We either take the bus and sell them the quads at a discount, or we take the quads.
They don't want the quads. You'll have to find someone else to sell them to, but that's not going to be difficult.
All right. So we're gonna. What do you think? Do you want to keep the bus with the stuff in it, or do you want to keep the quads? I think we've done okay with the quad so far, but that stuff that's in it would make us a powerhouse the next place we visit.
You just might want to have that bus repainted if you're going to keep that.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. We're going to make it look like
and you don't have to, again,
the dog van from Dumb and Dumber.
You don't have to decide that now. You can ostensibly keep a hold of both of all of the things and decide what's going to happen once you get back.
I would say it's been a long night. We'll revisit that at a later date.
Okay. So there's quite the hubbub once you leave the Cutters League place. There's, the parents there with their reunited children. There's reporters. I mean, there's all kinds of, not really blogs or anything like that, but there's still news and kind of like the paparazzi type style of getting information. They want to talk to you about this and that and other things. Eventually you'll get back to the hotel where drinks and food are on the house for that evening.
Steak fingers, buddy.
Steak fingers. Shani gets some nachos. How many dimensions don't have nachos?
Yeah,
right. And then the next day you can set forth up the mountain.
So we breezed right through that.
Yeah, that was not bad. You didn't let pride get in the way. You did your hero business.
Being prideful would be not on the lay low scale of doing stuff, you know.
And really, are you out here to make a name for yourself? Because making a name for yourself, sends up fireworks.
That's what I was getting at. Like, you just tell me you hired us and we're done. We're out of here, but we're keeping our stuff. I know we've already talked about it a second, but for me, the big thing about taking the bus is that it's one vehicle. If it's disabled, we're fucked. That's my big thing. Hey.
I didn't know he was here, man. I'm going to go respond.
Jonesy, God, where did he come from?
No, I agree. I think when we get to that point, we might want to at least keep a quad and the bus.
And you can load, the top of the bus has a rack or a rail system. With Shani's boost trait, you can load a quad on top and strap it down if you really wanted to.
All right, we'll talk about that in a minute.
But you don't have, you haven't made a decision of how you're leaving this town yet. So you might as well keep all the vehicles and decide then.
Got another damn job to do.
Correct.
So, have we talked to the Cutters about this yet?
About which? Oh.
Because Aaron was actually going to pay us for going up there.
Correct.
So now we need to make sure that we're still getting paid for going back up
You are still getting paid for that.
Okay.
And we've We spent a night.
You spent a night. So
we're rested.
You're rested, you're healed, you got your ISP and all that stuff back. You
charged my gun.
Charged your guns.
So, sorry, when I got to...
You can do that at the Cutters League, though.
Seasoned, I had to pick more ISP. I don't get ISP automatically.
You have to pick that. It's an edge.
Cool. That's all right. That's fine.
Yeah.
This 30 is pretty good ISP. Just making sure. All right.
All right. So you head up the mountain.
On the quads. Leave the...
Yeah, we can't take the van up the hill.
Yeah, you can't take the bus up there. So you take the quads as far as you can go until you can
It's
get.
already the
get
dog
those.
van. Can't take the van. Like, the bus. Sorry, bus. I was saying we should paint it. We should cover it, make it look like the bus from Dumb and Dumber, the van from Dumb and Dumber.
Dog. St. Bernard it out.
Just change the coloring a little bit, make the ears shorter.
So you head up on the quads. It takes a good portion of the day to get up there. Roads are not in the greatest conditions from all of that. They've cleared things out, and there's been a path that comes up here, but most of the time they station people up here, and that's the end of it. They stay up here for a month-long stint. So you head up. You get to a point where the heat and the smoke is getting a bit much for the quads. They're going to probably start overheating, maybe even tires melting at some point. And that's when you get to a point in the path, eventually, that there is literally a wall of fire just sitting there over it. You can keep the quads cool if you want to keep going up there with the quads, or you can ditch them and walk.
I'm down for walking. I'd rather...
Yeah, let's just...
I don't want to spend my energy keeping things cool that I don't need to, because you guys are already going to be more in danger than normal.
Yeah.
If I have to also worry about vehicles... I'm not saying I'm the only person here, but I'm just saying that I can control fire to a degree, and I'd rather not have to worry about vehicles as well as you guys.
Right, save it for the emergency.
Yeah.
So, you quelch the fire, or at least move it out of the way, and as you get up there... As I said in the previous session, this fire is really weird. Yeah, you just part it and walk through, and then it comes back.
Okay.
This is definitely magical fire, and this is being controlled. There's smoke and ash everywhere using filtration. You have to, kind of wrap your snout in a bandana, a wet bandana. Mm-hmm. Shani puts her helmet on to get the filtration system going on that. You guys are heading up, and it's literally like there's walls of these fire that are sitting there. They're not going from tree to tree. They're just making barricades, essentially.
Can I tell? Are they consuming anything they touch, or are there branches that are hanging over that it's touching?
Oh, they're gone. Like everything that's near them is
so
dead and gone.
Fire.
It's still fire.
It's not just okay.
It's not an illusion or anything like that. But it's just not. It's sitting on dirt, essentially. Mm-hmm. It's already destroyed all of its fuel.
There's nothing left to consume, but it continues to burn.
But there's trees and other things between the walls of fire. It's just these curtain walls of fire that have been barriered up as you're going up this mountain. You do, at one point, find the remains of what was probably the Cutters League team that went up there, burned to death near one of the walls.
So, is there any apparent way they made it in? No, we're not sure how they even made it this far.
Correct. It could have been that these walls move. It could have been that they had someone with them that could get through at least a little bit of it.
Do they have...
Because right now, you are helping control the fire and heat for at least the people around. Like you're not using the ISP version, but you're definitely keeping it cooler for Shani and
their equipment is destroyed. There's
okay,
cool. There's nothing we can do with that. Okay, well, let's press on. Unless you have something you want to snip at or look at. I guess you can look at stuff too.
Well, go ahead and make me a notice check.
Okay. I was gonna say, I could try to investigate, but if they're just burnt bodies, I don't know what I'm gonna find. Notice.
That's an okay notice.
4 +2?
+2, 6.
Okay.
So, 2 things are coming in. One is something large and supernatural is looming. Like there's something. It's not just a burster or something like something big supernatural is around here.
BFD.
The second thing is you start to get that static and fuzz. There's a ley line nearby.
Fuck you, there were kids last time. Enjoy your lay line. Are you going to be able to keep moving forward?
Yeah.
All right, let's keep
It's
moving
just my
forward.
senses that get fucked up, but not like
Yeah,
incapable of fighting or anything.
If you get super close, you'll start getting fatigued, but mainly being this close starts messing with his ability to sense things.
All right, let's
Like that's
press
probably the
on.
last time I'm getting a +2 on my
Yeah.
keen senses.
Okay.
The
Well, do you
closer
want
we
to
get.
look around a little more there?
I mean, we might as well head to the...
All right.
The watchtower.
Mhm.
All right, so the watchtower is it used to be just like the wooden, watchtower style, like the fire watch, but then they put a radar array on it and a radio relay unit, and they built it up and put walls around it, and it became a little fortress up here. So it's this like kind of this cool little like plasteel compound, almost like a mini castle up here with a whole bunch of radar dishes and all this other stuff sticking out of it, and a tower coming out of it that sees out like a big, completely round or multifaceted like watchtower, like the Seattle Needle type thing. Like it's got this tower with a area which is all glass or plasteel, fairly large, that rises above the walls, that looks out in all directions, and it's got a radar tower, the radar dish, and the antenna arrays on top of that. But there's a wall around it to keep it protected. And as you approach, some fire starts to lash out at you. If you're going to want to protect them, you're going to have to spend some ISP. This is some pretty serious fire.
Fuck them.
Screw them. Let's let them get hit.
All right, so for reaction, no roll, can't create control dusting, so -2. So that means that I create environmental effects, impose a -2.
Yeah.
So all right, so I just have to kind of drain then. Is it like one
So,
round or 2?
This is going to be, you're going to spend 2 ISP per person you want to protect, and you're going to have to make a roll.
So, what?
I'm just kidding. 2 per person?
Yep.
All right, there's 4
So make a roll.
of what
It's
sort
your
of
psionics roll.
psionics. All right, cool. So
I mean, you can let us fend for ourselves and see what happens when we get hit by
no,
fire.
no, it's
Something
fine.
tells me
It'll
won't be good.
okay.
I mean, Shani might be okay, but...
She's not armored up yet. She's just in her
You're
normal
hearing
armor.
too.
Oh, hey.
I got a 5.
Okay. Do you want to spin any of your bennies? Or you go to 5.
I have 1. Yeah, let's do 5.
Okay.
Are you rolling for the fire?
I am. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Well, I'm rolling for the person that's commanding the fire.
Oh, okay. I was like, holy shit, this is some crazy fire.
It starts like all of a sudden just walls, like there's like the fire that's just sitting on trees and hanging around, and all of a sudden it just like swells up and comes at you like waves, like just, and he's like, puts up his arms and tries to bat it away, but you ends up having to like jump out of the way and get a little bit singed and feel that heat rising. You're sweating already. You are fatigued now. You're taking a level of fatigue. You didn't get burned, you didn't get injured, but
It's really fucking hot.
like that really singed everything, got all your nerves going, and now you're like instantly sweating and just heat exhaustion almost. Shani seems to be in much the same boat.
Maybe we should have split the party.
Comes at you, a couple more waves come at you, and you now get up, and now that you know what's happening, you sit down to drain the fire from the area. And that's when the clawed hand and the other clawed hand come up over the tower wall.
It's another
And
dog boy.
Correct. Just a big corgi.
Oh, you didn't say big Claude. You said Claude hand. I'm like, rawr.
No, I mean, this is coming over the wall.
That's what I think of you. Rawr.
Yeah,
So
when we were in town, we should have been like, Fire boy, you go take care of it.
you just go deal with that.
We're going to deal with selling of the stuff.
We're going to eat steak fingers and nachos, drink some beer.
You go deal with the fire.
I already split the party up last time and it almost died.
So, this red dragon arches its head over the tower wall from the gate, like the door that would go in. It's not open, but it's just looking down at you now.
Does anyone speak dragon?
Does anyone speak dragon?
No.
Dope.
I could try to talk to it, though, maybe like in
You sure about that?
American, Spanish, Elven, Mandarin, Sign, Japanese, Euro.
Oh, you wrote Elven.
Oh, you wrote Elven.
Is that mine?
Yeah, you printed it up.
Where's yours?
Is that you?
Elven.
Okay. Elven is Dragonese.
Okay, well then I speak Dragonese.
Yes.
Why you just say that instead of being a dick about it?
No, I didn't know. I thought I wrote Dragonese.
No, it's Elven. So that's Dragonese.
Yeah, the elves speak the language of dragons, which is also the language of magic. It's all the same language.
So I speak really loud. I'm like, whoa, give your balls a tug. No, I'm just kidding. Crap.
We're not with him.
Yep. Oh, cool. You're dead. What am I even going to say? Like, I'm going to say to a dragon.
What do you say to a dragon?
Burning this place up.
Tell him to
Hey,
stop.
you mind toning it down a little bit down here?
The dragon says, "Watch how you speak to me, worm."
Damn it, that's not very. I'm not very charismatic. Sorry, would it be too much trouble to tone the fire down enough that we might pass into this watchtower?
You says, and this voice is booming. I can't understand
totally.
what it's saying.
And I'm yelling, "Can you turn the fire down?"
Speaking in dragon. And it's a... That's how dragons talk.
They're belugas in my mind.
I'm imagining like the
It's
dragons
Elven,
in
like it's...
Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, you know what? It'd probably sound more like Skyrim. Maybe that would make more sense.
Like that's what they're sounding. It gives you subtitles or what they're saying. So I don't know what the fuck they're saying.
Says, you ask me to lower my guard so you can enter my domain? What have you brought me?
How's the conversation going there?
What offering could you possibly
we have a
grant
that you can give up.
We offer you this sacrifice.
Right? I don't know. Can I make a show of force and be like, maybe you shouldn't take me so lightly?
You can try. There's nothing stopping you from doing any of these.
It's irrelevant as of 5 minutes ago, but as of right this second, you guys might want to make sure your shoelaces are tight. Run away. No, I can't do that without hurting these guys. Fuck.
Yeah, he speaks Elvish, which in Rift's world is everyone. Elven is dragon. The dragons went around to all the realms and taught certain people how to speak their language, which is the language of magic. It's what makes magic happen. Like, it's what shapes potential psychic energy into spells and effects.
No, because what I want to do...
Dog boys do taste great. Robert says to offer you up because dog boys are delicious snacks for dragons.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Hell, I didn't think about offering anything. I was really not expecting to talk to this thing.
Yeah, weird, huh?
I mean, I have rope.
You think you're going to fight this thing?
No, I mean, I have rope.
I have rope. I'm gonna hook its toenail.
I don't even know what to do. So we're just trying to get it to move along and turn the fire off. I could tell it where there are some dead dog boys that it could eat.
Go for it. See what happens.
Are you hungry? No, I'm just kidding.
You hungry?
Yeah, right.
You
Jesus.
can ask what it wants.
I don't know what would be an acceptable offering. There you go. That's a good idea. Yeah. Good idea.
Do you have any potent artifacts?
We have 2 potions that affect Zytitic negatively. I have one that messes up their antennae and one that dissolves the acid that they have. That's pretty one of a kind, but I don't think he's going to need them as anything crazy. I could make something, but he won't have any use for it.
How do you know? How do you know?
That's a good point. We have these one-of-a-kind potions that negatively affect the Zytitic invaders.
The bugs do not concern me. They burn like everything else does.
Wrote the shot.
What if I made you something out of metal that you could hold that wouldn't melt like everything else?
You can craft metal that does not melt.
Well, whether it melts or not would be up to you, but I can make some pretty metal, and I could make it glow.
And what would I do with this glowing metal?
Admire it?
I have this sunset to look forward to every day.
Oh boy.
Are you going to capture the sun in a piece of metal for me?
No. Actually, capture sun. No, I can't capture the sun. So he's asking, I'll just skinny you through. He's asking us for something to give him. What can we give him?
All right, what is it here for?
I don't know. What are you doing here? What's going on? What's with the fire? What's with the thing? Why have you taken this?
Never mind this previous route of conversation.
Make me a persuasion check.
Let's just change conversation.
Yeah, right. That was kind of shitty. I got a little overwhelmed. I didn't think I was going to talk to it. 8 is what I got.
We all wish you were here. And Robert's like, I wish I was there. It's one of those dragons.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
8.
Okay. So you ask him what it's doing here. And it goes to a spiel. It introduces itself as Vimarath, Lord of the Red. Vimyrarth. Vimarath. Lord of the Red. And she has chosen this peak as her home.
Spell that shit again.
Vimyrarth.
VIMY.
Rarth. And this peak pleases her. It has abundant magical energy with a ley line nearby. It has a sunset-like fire, which reminds her of home.
A fire like sunset.
Yes. And it has soon-to-be subjects that she can command at her leisure.
So what the hell that means?
Well, she's probably going to try to take over Wreckville. That's what it probably means.
It also answered all my questions too, where I was like, well, other than like the sunset, what do you like about this place? Oh, the people to subjugate. Fuck.
So it has a ley line, which obviously is important. It has energy for her. And it's a fortified area. So that's nice for a dragon to already have, though it's kind of small. Yeah, and it's nice and high up, and it has a good view.
Something that's really going to uproot her is if we find some other place that she might enjoy.
Know any places?
Don't. We could also we can negotiate the subjugation of the people. Hey, they just want to vote. Sometimes. They just want to vote. Fuck, what do you think, man?
I don't know.
Take some time. Think about it.
I know. I was very thrown off about this talking to the dragon.
Like wait, I'm supposed to talk to it?
Yeah, I know.
These things are highly intelligent
I
creatures.
know. In my brain, dragons are just like,
oh, we gotta fight a dragon.
Yeah, that's that.
That would have gone terribly for you.
Matthew McConaughey boat anchor helicopter movie, whatever the fuck that thing was called, Rain of Fire.
Oh, Rain of Fire. Yeah,
it's a terrible movie.
Yeah, because I don't think we have the option to fight this thing.
You absolutely do. I just would not recommend it. This is.
What are we going to attack with?
This is
fire. Like that's what we can do. He
could. Your coalition manual, this is not a hatchling. This is a full-grown dragon.
To mention, it would have a hard time hurting me with the fire, but all it'd have to do is step on me and I would die.
Right.
So it's
none of its fire would hurt you, but it is also completely immune to fire.
Absolutely. It would
so
just be
you would do
fire-wise.
No damage.
Yeah. It would turn into a wrestling match and it's a dragon. So
yeah. Everything it does is MD. So you don't want to. I'm not saying that you couldn't beat this thing. That might be a possibility. I
was almost like, hey, there's that lake that has the energy that's got another town attached to it.
Huh. Well,
Dockside, was that what it was called?
Dock wall.
Dock wall.
Say one town, fuck another.
We're moving farther away from it. I was say, but it's like a unique geological feature. But
Dock wall probably has kids in it though.
And there's a bunch of kids where we're at right now.
I'm just saying you need to think of the kids.
Yeah. I was gonna say we could just offer it dock wall, and when it accepts, we can just take the money and run. But it's not conducive to our characters.
What if we told her about Castle Hill? Castle Hill's up on a fucking hill, obviously. It's got a ley line.
It's got a ley line nexus in it. Well, technically a nexus because of that standing stone structure.
And it has some unique activity there.
Just saying, maybe the dragon would be interested in that.
It's got a granite kitchen top and an open floor plan.
And I don't know, are there still things around there to subjugate?
We don't know that part.
There's dock wall.
It would be farther away. Maybe we could. We could suggest it. At least
but having this place has a ley line going next to it. That thing technically has a nexus, and it's even better than nexus. It has a standing stone because you can choose when to activate it.
That's a good idea. So why don't we try to negotiate a transfer? Tell it we found a better place for you with stronger ley line energy, unique activity, and
still's up high.
Yeah, it's up high. It's fortified. Possible subjugate class there.
And I'm supposed to just believe you that this magical location exists?
Am I able to show it with my foresight?
With your clairvoyance?
Clairvoyance, yeah.
You might, you don't know the capabilities of the dragon. Mm-hmm. And your capabilities aren't going it's less than 100 miles. So you'd have to get a raise.
Right, I'd have to roll it pretty high.
But there's a ley line nearby. If she has the capabilities of ritual magic to tap into, basically tap into your psyche to do that, and you're on the ley line, you would be able to do that.
Would we also be able to tell her? Could we give her coordinates? Would it be enough for her to look herself? This is where we think it is. Exactly.
It would be kind of weird, to try to get a map or something like that, because you don't know how, she's not from here, from this dimension. So
the two of us would have to go to the ley line together.
Right.
Yeah, just offer yourself up so she can use you.
Well, just tell her that I can I can show you if you take me into the ley line with you.
When's the last time this dragon's been laid? Give it the old burster flame lick. So, you want to offer up your services to show her this sight?
Sure, let's do that.
You should negotiate toning down the fire around me and Shani while this is happening, please.
Yeah, that makes sense. So while we're doing this, can you turn the fire off of my friends so that they don't perish?
So they can infiltrate my lair while we're gone? I don't think so.
They're no match for you.
Flicks her hand and a wall of fire appears around you guys to trap you in here. And it's really goddamn hot.
I just want it to be less. I think you can keep the wall of fire. Just fucking make it less intense. Damn it.
I mean, if I take it down, it's insulting. Oh, we're going down later, guys.
Become a little flameling. You have until this fire cooks your friends to show me this spot.
All right. Well, let's do this then. All right.
So she'll reach down and pick you up in her hand and crawls out and flaps her wings down the mountainside to where the ley line is crossing across the mountainside on the side.
Now, I've never been in a ley line before. How would that affect my psionics?
Oh, it doubles your power and does all the crazy stuff. Like, it's pretty nuts.
The splitting of the party.
I think I put...
No way this can go wrong.
Yeah, right? I think I put somewhere on there what your effects are, but I'm not sure.
I didn't see it.
It might be somewhere in your...
Oh, double all effects of major psionics and ley lines. I gain 20 ISP. I'm taking the PowerPoint says no, never mind. So I have it once. Yeah, so I get 20. I get another 10 ISP. I get plus 2 to psionics roll for 2 ISP. I get plus 4 to psionics roll with 4 ISP.
Yeah.
And I can roll 1 ISP. Or sorry, if I spend 1 ISP, I double my power range. 2 SP, I tenfold my range.
And then all of those effects are doubled on a ley line.
No, I was reading the double. Oh, no, it wasn't. So, yeah, so for 2 ISP, I could 20 times my range.
Yeah.
I could shoot my burst. My burst cone would go for like 5 football fields. Like,
yeah. And your...
Not relevant in this case.
I know, but it's crazy. Like, I'm so devastating in here.
Your...
Here, let me just wipe out the town real quick. Now there's no
I'm
subjects to subjugate. So
ultra mega obscure area.
Right.
Obscure Earth.
Yeah, plus 1, plus 2, or plus 2, plus 4. So you can spend 4 ISP to give you this what you're about to roll a plus 4, which you'll definitely want to try to do.
Yeah.
And probably just boost the range just to be sure.
So I'm gonna spend 2 ISP.
But you have 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
or 10 extra.
I'm gonna boost my range 10-fold for 2 or 20-fold for 2 ISP.
And give yourself a plus 4 to the roll.
Wow.
For 4 ISP.
So another 4. So
but you just got 10. So ISP,
so
like you fed it, you just by being on the ley line.
So now my actual after using that, I'm still 4 points above my max ISP.
Right.
All right. So
she flies you down to the ley line where like there's this kind of like perch outcropping because it's just going across the side of this mountain, just like swathing through. But there's only like one real area, and you can see that this area has been cleared out and has probably been used as a ritual site by magic users in the past. But she lands in that, and you're now in this ley line with her, and she sets you down and says, "Show me. Open up your mind." And she is about to telepathically enter your head. Now, I'm assuming you don't want to resist this.
do I need to? I mean, I don't. She can learn whatever she wants from you. I'm not
like you have that, yeah. You have that strong-willed or whatever it is. The gives you the bonus against opposing psionics.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What is that called? It's edge.
Major psionics. No. Sorry, it is mentalist. Plus 2 to oppose psionic rolls.
Okay.
So I could choose what she sees, right?
Like if you want to keep that up, and like you do it on your terms, you're gonna have to make a roll.
All right, let's do that because I don't want her just to take control of my brain.
So a psionics, yeah, just I see everything and know everything you know. And that's when she'll find out all about Dockwall and Wreckville and everything. Like, she'd just take all that information from
I
you.
get ley line bonuses of double, right? So this is +4 to my post-sonic rolls?
Sure, why not? That seems fair. Open your mind. Oh, shit. Okay.
9.
Yeah, she just tries to brute force her way in there, and you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And you actually see her, like, recoil and, like, her claw, like, because she just sets you down.
Buy me dinner.
Like, her claw is around you like this, and it, like, curls, and one of, like, the talons kind of, like, almost pokes you through the chest, like, eek. And she's like, you are more potent than your frailty would let on.
You don't look half bad yourself. All right, let's show her what she's looking for. That would be a 7. No, sorry, an 8.
So that's with the +4?
Yes, so an 8. So that means that it's... If I'm successful, then I went my spirit times 10 in miles.
Well, you went... So that's with the raise. So you went your spirit times 100 miles. Your spirit's a D6, right?
No, my spirit is a D10. So I just went 100 miles out.
You can do 1,000 miles.
That's right, so spirit times 10, and 10 is 100.
Well, 10, it's your spirit times 100.
Okay.
Because of the raise.
Oh, instead of 10, okay, so yes, then I can show
1,000, like, you could show her Atlantis and Europe and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you don't know those places, so you show her Castle Rock.
Castle Rock in high def. It's 4,000 K. You like it?
She looks at it, directs you like to look around here and there, and she's like, not much to look at, is it? What tragedy befell this place? It has no gate. The town has been destroyed around it. What are you trying to sell me here?
Potential. The place was already attracting people on its own. I bet when a dragon appears, it will attract even more people.
It's the thing about dragons. We generally don't attract people that want to help. This is worthless to me. Unless it can be fixed, fortified, rebuilt. If I can have subjects.
What about the creatures that were there? Would that be considered a single set? We destroyed
They're all dead.
Yeah, we destroyed that.
But you did have that ley line walker that, like, she didn't want to leave. But she probably wouldn't want to be... No, she may not want to be underneath a dragon, but there might be some way to convince her to not be. But because, the ley line walker really loved being there because of the power, but had to go back to Dockwall because there was nothing left of her town.
We could turn it into a magic commune, which is
Denis.
kind of was... Sorry?
Denis. The ley line walker is Denis.
I was like, it was already kind of gearing up to be a magic commune. How open-minded are the people about working with and being under a dragon? Is that that's a scary thing?
It's a pretty scary thing, and depending on the dragon. The thing is, like, it's only a matter of time before the Coalition finds that Dockwall isn't part of them anymore and is going to want to stamp down on them. Having a dragon nearby could be a big boon.
Makes sense.
But you need to...
We would have to go back.
You'd have to somehow negotiate this with Denis.
Yeah. And what's his head's not going to like it either.
You and Shani need to make me some vigor rolls.
Well, you vigor roll.
What he's saying is hurry up.
Ooh, Shani is fine.
Me, maybe not so much. I got a 3.
Okay, so you take another level of fatigue.
I guess and what it would have been a 2 actually, because I was already fatigued.
Already fatigued, yes.
So. One more fatigue mean I'm incapacitated? Dope.
Yep. And you are in a big coat of fur, so makes sense that this is debilitating for you. Shani's like stripping down to her swimsuit.
It's already an interesting series of events.
I love how you guys like. I said that there was a dragon last thing, and like you didn't. Like, there was no thought, no discussion about what you're gonna do, and you thought like you're gonna just come up here and fight this thing. Good luck.
Well, I guess the point there is that I didn't put any thought into it. Like we ended with like, oh, it's just a big fucking dragon. And we took a week off, and then it was just like, oh yeah, whatever we're gonna do.
Good question. What are you gonna do?
Did you guys perish?
He is one step away from incapacitated, which is then one step away from perishing.
All right.
Shani's doing fine. So you're going. You know, she's not impressed with the state of the location,
Yeah.
but the way she saw that circle, the stone circle, and the castle. That is impressive.
Well, I could tell her that, you know, I could possibly bring more powerful people in there to help work with her, for her, but I can't do it right this second if my friends are dying. Maybe it would be an act of mercy on your part with a greater end. I'm not asking you to give me anything, only to allow me to work for you this time.
You have shown to be a potent psionic and a master of the flames. You can be my emissary.
Right.
Go to your minions. You have 1 week to establish me this kingdom. Otherwise, I just take the one here.
All right. Seems fair. Can I get a lift back?
Flies you back.
Yeah.
And drops the wall around you.
The rest of the walls are up. Everything else is pretty much
Everything's
as it
still
was.
going.
Okay,
So
cool.
drops you back down in front of the group.
So I'll get a skinny one to you guys that we're going to have to try to figure out if we can't get this ley line walker and possibly the people that were already flocking there for the energies to go there still and have a dragon matriarch and try to convince them it's in their own best interests.
So you guys heading back down to Wreckville to discuss these plans.
Definitely not staying up here
No, so
anymore.
we can't go into the tower without pissing her off even more. So yeah, that'll have to be the case.
So you head back to Wreckville. Obviously, you have to check in with Corporal Aaron. Do you tell him what's going on?
I'd rather not scare everybody. I'd probably just tell them that, like, you know, I've got a basic idea of what's happening. The magic's definitely magic. Don't send any more people. Or sorry, the fire is definitely magic. The magic's magic. Definitely don't send any other people up there until we get back. Because you not only will you
have to run an errand and we'll be back.
Yeah, not only will you
Hopefully
lose your
they'll-
men, but you might make things worse. So
He just mainly wants to know, is it spreading?
it's not
If it's not
going
going to
yet.
spread, then that's good enough for him.
It won't spread for at least a week. give me that much time. We'll see what we can do about this.
So
All right, so you're back at the hotel, eating some steak fingers. What is the plan? What are you going to do? You going to
Well,
take the bus or the quads and drive back to Dockwall? And I mean, it took you... You'd be cutting it close. You'd have to leave, like, tomorrow, and you'd only have, like, half a day to negotiate this whole deal before
we
you
don't have
get
any
back.
kind of we don't have any kind of discussion equipment. We can't call them on the phone or.
I mean, you have that radio relay unit. If you get close enough, you can set that up and try to contact Aqua. You know what their frequencies are, but then you're making this negotiation over radio.
All right, you guys stay here. I'll be right. I'm just kidding.
There may be other methods of transportation here. The Cutters League may have aerial transportation. You can ask around to see if there's any other way to get around. If that's what your plan is to head back there and talk to Denny in person.
What do you think about the plan?
And that's the main thing: is what is your plan? What are you going to do? What are you going to say to these people? And
well, it sounds like we're negotiating with Denny, or we're running for it.
Well, see, I could probably talk them into going down there because they were already using the site. It might be kind of a unique experience to get to at least experience the company of a dragon.
The reason that they had to that she chose to leave is because there was not enough people there and they couldn't secure it. If there was a dragon there, it would be secure.
Exactly.
So that would help. That would be a one way, but then you're dealing with this dragon that thinks she's all that and wants to control everything.
How could we tell people that they're not working for a dragon but still make them work for this dragon?
And there's a lot of, there's
These tax cuts will create jobs.
Right. When you look at it, there's people that, the people at Dockwall worked with the Coalition. Even the Coalition never had their best interest in mind. Most people are worried about survival. If this dragon means survival to them, then it could work.
That makes sense. Why don't we drive out enough in the van to boost the signal to talk to them so we don't have to go all the way back?
Okay.
You gotta drive, I can't drive. Also, we have to get the van, we have to get the bus back.
Oh, yeah.
You have the bus.
We have the bus still. Alright, so let's give that a shot. Let's head about halfway back. Or not halfway back in the quarter. How long do I have to go before I go?
You'd have to go, you'd pretty much have to get at least to the lake, but not their side of the lake, just to where the lake is, so you can communicate across it.
Alright.
So
How long is that going to take? 2 days?
2 days.
Right.
It'll be actually 1.5. 1.5 up. You can talk for a day and a half, and then 1.5 back.
Alright, let's do that.
So if you can get a hold of them and they're not all dead or whatever.
I know. I was like, somebody answer the phone.
And you have
Is anyone there?
you got an idea of your conversation?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're heading back.
Pick up the phone if you're interested in exciting new...
What did you tell the Cutters League when you left here? It's just
that we'll be
you're
back,
dealing with it.
We're
You need to
dealing
go.
with it. It's a magic problem. I'm going to go need to consult some magic sources. Okay. I'm sure he knows nothing of that, so he won't question me too much on it.
All right. You're driving back. The first day is fine. The second day, you're getting up towards the lake. Make me a notice check. You're fine now. Your fatigue is gone. You have recovered.
Now you know you can fight in an oven.
Five plus 2, 7.
Okay. You have danger sense, right?
Yes.
Okay. Make me another roll.
Great. I still notice, right?
Yeah, what does the danger sense say? I wrote it on your other one. It has the full rules for it.
On the one you typed down, it just says notice -2 versus ambush.
Right. So, make me a notice check.
Guess what's happening? Hey, there's 8.
15.
15, so 13.
Alright, you're getting ambushed. So you're getting a card. These people are not. You're driving, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jack and Queen of Spades.
Flushing.
Flushing again, like first session. Alright. Technically, they are starting on hold. So, you're driving along one of the pathways, roads that are cleared up here, when you just see some flutter movement off to the left up in a tree, and a glob of something starts coming down at the front driver's side. Front driver's side.
More than likely. So
More than front driver's side wheel. You can attempt to dodge this if you use your action to do so, or you can take it and you'll still have an action to do something this turn.
Don't ruin our van.
So, a glob is coming.
Glob is coming down from somewhere up in the trees towards your front driver's side tire wheel well.
I guess let's try to dodge it.
Driving.
Maybe not the best choice. That's weird. 6? Yeah.
You want to stick with 6, or do you want to push it? Reroll
If
it?
you push it, you get one more extra dice for a Benny, right?
Yep. Well, Benny will give you an extra d6 to add to that 6.
So it'll, like, just I'm straight up rolling a d6.
You roll a d6
adding,
and add it right on.
So 9.
Nah. Okay.
Right?
Yep.
That's 6 plus
So you see the flutter, and you're like, and you look up, and the glob comes down, and you're like, and you hit the wheel, get out of the way. Something hits the ground, and you smell acid, like burning your nostrils. You drive around that, and then almost like from the trees around you and in front of you, a whole bunch of fluttering comes up, and Zytikic are coming out of the forest.
Are Zytikic technically magical creatures? Like, can he sense them?
No, they are not innately magical. They are just insects. I guess, they do use techno-wizardry in a way, but they don't have any more PPE or ISP than a normal person. It's weird. A 4. A burned out mech. Here you go. King of Diamonds and a 10 of Hearts. So.
Or play
He's
more
totally
card.
flipping those cards. Shani has the Ace of Diamonds.
Are we playing that card?
And the Zytikic have a Queen of Diamonds. So your king goes first.
I wanted Shani's ace go first.
Oh, Ace goes first, yes. So Shani is armoring up. She's in her armor now. I guess I should roll for her. See if she can get a raise. So Shani armors up normally. She now looks like a Egyptian warrior god. Now your king. You are still driving, so he's totally flipping this car. Robert has the utmost confidence in your abilities.
I mean, shit. I do park the. Like, are you ready to fight?
I'm always ready to fight.
I mean, I don't know that we have another choice here, so.
Right. You can try to accelerate and get away from them. They can fly. They can probably fly faster than you can drive. But if you keep driving, then they can try to thwart them away and do enough damage that they can't follow you anymore. If you stop, you're going to have to take on however many there are and keep them from disabling your vehicle, which you know they do.
And we don't know how many there are yet.
Correct.
We can't boost the signal far enough from where we're at.
to start talking. I mean, you won't have enough, like, combat rounds isn't enough to make this conversation happen and get out. I mean, you'd just be kind of wasting your turns trying to negotiate with a ley line walker to subjugate herself to a dragon
So
while
you're
the
saying
fight's going on.
Yes, we're saying this isn't Jurassic Park. We can't just make up times and go with them.
Right. You're going to have to deal with this. You're going to have to try to run and let Shani and him fight from the bus while you try to drive and get away from them, or you're going to stop, try to defend the vehicle, and wipe out the entire force you're against.
All right, well, let's pedal to the metal.
All right, make me
Guys,
driving
get
check.
ready. This is going to be so bad.
Just crit fail. Come on, flip the bus. Make Robert right.
I got a 5.
A 5. A 5 is enough to accelerate and get back on the road and go. So now it's just kind of up to you guys to fight. So the cards. They are going. So 2 of the
Hunters.
the warriors step out onto the road, and they are trying to shoot you through the vehicle itself. They're going to try to shoot you and Shani, because Shani was sitting up. Like, at least she's armored up, and she's made herself known inside the vehicle. So, they're getting minuses because they're shooting at a moving vehicle. You have cover, all kinds of stuff. So,
How are you feeling about this right now?
I kind of figured when we drove through a lot of activity, we got lucky on the day out. On the day after, sorry, I don't know, on the trip out of the woods back to the place.
never doubted Beethoven for a second. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's a 13. 4 is a 7. 10, 13, yes. 7. So that's a hit on you, 1 hit on you, without a raise. And another 13 for a hit without a raise on Shani. Resin spike guns. These are large, like, spikes coming through the vehicles at you. You're getting armor because this vehicle is, I mean, it's not MDC, but it is armored. So
Hey, it's better than nothing.
it is better than nothing. What's your toughness?
11.
Nothing? Oh, shit.
Melts the car.
That was 2 6s against Shani. Another 6 and a 5. So that's 6, 12, 18, 23, 26.
29.
6, 12, 18, plus 5 is 23, plus 3 is
26.
26. So 26 damage against Shani's toughness of 7. So she's going to spend a Benny to soak. Because that's 23, but it's her toughness of technically 11. So 23 minus 11 is 13.
Yeah, 14.
4,
12.
12? 4, 8, 12. That would have been all 3 of her wounds. She would have been straight incapacitated, essentially. So she's going to try to soak. And she fails. So she is straight incapacitated.
Dang it.
Well, she is started. She is -3.
That's
One
like-
more is
It's
incapacitated.
like a 4th wound gets you incapacitated, right?
Yeah, she is just through a window and into her shoulder, between her armor plates. She screams and hits the floor. So she is shaken.
She got a tattoo of a broken spear.
Oh, go. Sorry.
Can I go out the window and target one of these things?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Make me a notice check just as you're assessing the situation. Because you obviously see the 2 warriors. But I want to know what else you see.
4.
4. So you see the 2 warriors, and you see the hunter that was up in the trees that is now You're past them. So there's 2 hunters ahead of you and 2 warriors ahead of you, 1 hunter behind you. And there's obviously more. There's movement in the trees. You're just not getting the crisp detail, and you're inside a vehicle looking out windows, so you're not seeing the whole picture yet.
Let's attack the closest warrior then.
All right. Bolt or burst. Bolt single target. If you burst, you'll start burning trees and starting forest fires.
Yeah. Let's bolt him then.
But you might also hit more as I tick it.
Let's burst.
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 All right. You are shooting from a moving platform, so you have -2.
Who cares?
And you can spend extra ISP to give yourself the +1 or +2 if you want to try to counteract that. Otherwise, you can just roll.
6.
So 6 - 2 is 4. That's a hit.
Oh, there it is. So 4d6.
And this is ND, right? You're in burst. You're not doing the bolt, right? You're doing the burst.
Oh, that's right. I'm doing burst. Oops, my bad. So that's different. That would be. Oh. So it's 2d10. Sorry, mega damage.
2d10 mega damage.
So 15.
15? Does it have an AP or is it just the damage?
No, it is just damage, mega damage.
That is enough to get through their armor, and since it's mega damage, that one just melts. So, one warrior down.
Driving. I'm just driving. It's like the old Death Race 2000. Or sorry, not the old one, the new one where you have like a navigator who gets killed half the time.
All right. New round. Queen of Clubs. Congratulations.
Good. Sorry, I need you to do some things.
Oh, that's not good. A 6 of spades and a 2 of diamonds.
Don't his cards have to be a certain level?
6 is the lowest I can have.
Shani has got the queen. And the Zytikic are going on, of course, the king.
I did not one.
You did melt one. All right. The hunter is coming up and trying to melt your back wheel. So you're going to need to make a dodge,
Another driving
a jink
dodge.
test if you
A
want.
swerve check.
A swerve check. Hey!
There's a 4. 5.
All right. That will cause him to miss. It to miss.
Coming in clutch with mine.
Like lands like next to the tire.
The warrior that shot Shani is going to shoot you now.
Seems only fair.
Yeah, you did melt his friend. Have a D10. Flip, bus. Robert really wants you to flip that bus. One hit without a raise. What is your toughness? Or, well, you don't have your fire armor on.
I can turn it on any moment. I haven't used a free action this turn.
You want to start melting the insides of your bus?
Nope. I guess I'll leave it off.
So, your toughness is...
5.
5. You're getting 5 points of armor from the bus itself, so it's a 10.
All right.
This is fun.
Yay.
8. It has an AP of 3. That is, unless you want to, well, you have a Benny.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you want to spend a Benny, you're taking a wound.
Let's do it.
So soak,
Bad luck.
vigor
Yes.
test.
4.
4. That's enough to soak that 1 damage. So you are not shaken and you are fine. Another warrior steps out and a hunter appears from ahead of you flying. So, fun. Yeah, that queen. So that was king. That's all their attacks. Queen of
Club
Hearts. She needs to recover from shaken. She recovers from shaken just fine. She is going to heal herself.
Sounds like a good plan.
Boring.
I know, right?
Do the shaman spell that smells like feet.
With the butts. Just make a butt in your coffee mug.
What time is it? Oh.
She heals 1 of her wounds. 6, 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. So, yep, she only heals 1 of her wounds. So she's only at -2 now. All right.
So there's a melter, big bug behind us, and another warrior behind us, and then 2 warriors and a melter in front of us.
So the melters are the hunters. They're flying. There's 1 behind you, 1 in front of you. And then there's now 3 warriors.
Those are the melting ones.
Those are the spike ones. The ones that are shooting spikes through the walls.
Which one are burping up the...
The flyer, the
ones?
hunters. Yeah.
Jesus, alright. Let's go for the spear guys, since they seem to be doing the most damage to us.
Okay.
I'm going to burst again.
Okay, you can get 2 on the right side if you run over there and
Let's
hit
do
them.
that. Yeah.
Again, unstable platform, -2. These are slightly further up, so it's going to be another -2 for range.
It's a -4 in my roll. Ugh.
You can spend ISP to get that up, or you don't have a Benny anymore, so
How much ISP do I need to spend?
4 ISP will negate 2 points.
Wow, no, let's just give it a try.
Okay.
This is expensive. 7, so 3.
3.
Yeah. That's a 7 minus 4.
They both get out of the way.
Hold the fucking truck steady.
I have to dodge these.
So now it's your turn. So you have to drive. You have to keep control of the vehicle. You can try to shoot as well, but that's going to be a multi-action penalty. And since you already dodged this turn, it'll be just driving is going to be -2. If you want to drive and shoot, it's going to be -4 to all the rolls.
So just driving's already at a -2.
-2. Right.
So I guess, what am I doing? Just driving more?
That's what you want.
What am I doing? Just driving. Yes, you keep us alive. You're keeping us alive.
And accelerating. Are you accelerating? You're still trying to get the hell out of here.
I guess so, yeah.
Right. All right.
I don't know if this
Good
is
luck.
working out for us, but...
Hey, if you crash, then you can stand and fight.
7.
7.
That'll do it. That's 5, which is a success. So you drive past the 2 warriors, and the hunter is now over top of you. So
all the warriors are behind,
or next to or behind, yeah.
and there's 1 hunter
Above you and 1 hunter behind you.
Okay.
Eventually,
Are we getting any distance on the hunters at all?
You're getting some distance on the hunter that you left behind. Okay. All right. King of Clubs. Who lets the fucking dog drive anyway? Because no one else can drive. Shani can a little bit, but... Oh, that's tough. 5 of spades and a 6 of clubs. Oh, that is terrible.
It's fun to watch someone else get something bad for once.
A 9 of spades. Yikes.
2.
Oh,
Get the fuck out of here.
All right. The Zyticket got the Joker, which means they're about to tear some stuff up. I'm going to let you guys go first because I can go whenever I want and get +2 out of my rolls. So, good luck.
Can I choose the bus as an obscured area?
Yes.
Like, can I obscure the bus as it drives? Will he still be able to see at the front? Like, can I? I'm saying, like, around myself, kind of behind the bus. Can we?
I love that you're having this conversation, but as you're thinking about it, you also remember that Alchemist told you they have antenna, which they don't need to see.
I do have an antenna messing up potion. Can I aerate that by heating it?
Mm-hmm. Like, you can obscure area and throw that out, like, or break it essentially on the bus to try to mess up everything. But it'd be a multi-action penalty to do. Let's
just do the one then. Let's just do the antenna messer upper on the bus.
So, actually, just pulling that out, you can do both if you want. That won't be a multi-action.
Well, you're just
having to break it.
I was just going to heat it and fog it. Will that work? Like, will I be able to make like a bug spray behind us? Like,
yeah, I mean, all you need to do is smash it.
Okay,
and then it goes.
All right, let's do that then.
Let's smash it. That just messes up their antenna. They can still see.
Okay.
Now, also understand that if you obscure the area, he won't be able to drive.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If I'm going to do both of them, I could cloud and obscure their antenna right behind us so they fly into like might stop them. You know what I mean?
So do you want to throw it out or do you want to put it on the bus?
Well, I'm afraid... All right, I'm going to obscure the area in front of us. You just hold... Like, are we in a straightaway? Like, would he be able to drive straight?
It's going through, like, woods. So you have to yell out to him to remember, like, hey...
Yeah,
like,
I'm going to obscure it because we're going to drive through it while we're covered in it. When we come out the other side, they won't know where we are anymore.
Yeah. So you're going to smash the bottle outside and obscure the area
in front of us
and see if you can get through. All right. Let's do this.
How do you feel about that?
Here's where I crashed the van.
Here's where the bus flips. All right.
Get ready, Robert. Here it comes.
You excited?
All right.
All right. Make a psionics roll to obscure the area.
All right.
So I'm not on the road anymore? We're actually in the woods?
You're on a road through woods.
Woo, 40.
But it's not straight.
I'm just kidding. 5.
5?
Yeah.
Okay. So it goes off ahead of you. It's not with a razor or anything. But yeah, there it is. So, and you smash the bottle. What's yours? A 6?
Mm-hmm. Like what Shani's holding. If you want to see if I crash the bus first or not, we can do that.
That's what they come up with. They're just gonna be.
Otherwise, you have to keep fighting these things while driving.
And it's costing me a lot of ISP to miss, so it's the only thing I can think of. Plus, I like to obscure the area. That's what it is.
She is going to try to bolt.
Robert's body is ready, by the way.
His body is ready. Woo! He's so excited about this.
He's like, I'm so ready to see this game end in death right here and now.
She is going to try to bolt she's leaning out and trying to bolt the hunter that's over top of you.
What is she at? -1?
-2, -2, so she misses.
Yeah, hold the fucking man straight.
She's trying to lean out and shoot with a magical bow and arrow.
My timing has been surprisingly good so far. All right, we're getting lucky on that.
Here comes the hard part.
So here comes the hard part. So now I'm at a quandary because I can either get one last turn to shoot at you guys, or I use this to try to get through your smoke screen. And I'm on the fence about it.
Do whatever your black heart desires.
I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna shoot at you. I'm gonna shoot at you.
Boo.
I think that's better. I mean, they're getting +2 though.
Yeah,
so
but they've been very successful with all their strikes so far. Look, these are fucking
also,
real.
it keeps rolling. I don't know what that means.
So
Dude.
you get hit without a raise. Everything else misses to penetrate.
Oh, I'm not getting penetrated.
Today.
So let's
Not
go
this
ahead.
roll, I
And,
should
let's
say.
go ahead and do that. What's your
Toughness?
toughness?
11.
11. So 16 minus 3, 13. Ooh. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, you're getting like there's spikes coming through the front window of the bus, like ching, coming off your armor and all this stuff.
So I'm driving in a panic.
So-
Spikes keep flying and
Here's
bouncing
the
off me.
here's
I'm
the
like,
big one.
Here comes the cloud.
Here's the bug behind is trying to get one last spit off. You are accelerating to such a degree that you're -2 to be hit already. He's at long range, so that's -4. So he's at -6 to hit you. No, he does not. A 3 will not hit you. The one above you is trying to take out your tire. So he is only at a -2 because of speed, because of the movement. So, and a 3 isn't going to. So that would have, if you would have had to jink again, you would have been another -2 on your roll to get through the fog. So that would have been really bad.
So I'd have been at a -4. And I'm only rolling -4.
Yeah,
Are you
that
driving
gives you
still
pretty
the
much
4?
4
Why
on
did you yell that when I said
so-
obscure area?
It's really fun to watch things go wrong when my character is not involved in the dying. Thanks, Robert. All right, so now it is all up to you.
Oh, goody.
So, you are going into a completely blind zone, which is -4. You're wounded? No? Okay.
No.
Damn it.
No,
So you're -4 to be driving through this.
I'm a -4?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to fail no matter what.
No, he has to stage.
Just spend a penny and
What?
try extra hard.
Well, let's see what he rolls.
All right.
Like,
Why am I at a -4?
because being
Speed,
completely
evasion, and
blind.
blind.
No, just being completely blind is -4.
Okay. I'm just curious.
Well, -2 because your keen senses.
Okay.
You so
Still.
I'll allow that.
7.
So 7. Do you want to spend a penny to
I'll add to it?
add to it?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not re-rolling that, that's for fucking sure.
I get an 8.
That is a raise though. So
But it's -2. It's a 6.
that was an 8 without the -2.
Yep.
So it's just a normal success. So you
You just get through the dirt.
you get through it. You lose some speed because you're like like slowing down. So now let's see. Really, what's going to happen is if you go before them, you're probably going to get away. If you don't,
Cut the headlights and put it in neutral. Dog boy.
9 of hearts.
Stock deck. Stock.
Oh, hold on, give me that back. Sorry, the Joker,
Joker makes you
me reshuffle. I didn't do that. Apparently, we sound like we're underwater. Do we sound like we're underwater, Robert?
It's probably the fan again.
Well, the thing is, like, without the... I might be able to turn that effect off completely. That cancellation effect, which I think is really what's doing it.
Yeah, for the record, this whole time my driving, I've only had a D4.
Yeah,
So I've been hitting 4s.
constantly. That's the good thing about the D4 is 25% of the time you're staging it.
But I'm just like,
All right.
if I haven't been hitting those,
Should I shuffle it more? Is that good
No,
enough
you're
for you
fine,
guys?
yeah.
All right.
You'd be dead already.
A 4 of
You should
diamonds.
shuffle it some more.
Can we spend a penny to have you shuffle?
Oh no. 9 of diamonds and a 2 of spades. There you go, buddy. Shani has a 10 of diamonds.
So I should to pull 2 jokers.
As I take it or getting an 8.
A jack. All right. Let's see. Let's see how well those I take get through this.
I said we're in the cloud with the obscure on, so
You are, and you're in the cloud with the obscure and the anti-antenna. So.
And some of them are pretty far from us now.
So you drive through. You're looking back. You're waiting. You and Shani are both like in the back. She's got her bow ready to go, her bolt power activated, and nothing comes through the smoke screen as of yet.
punch it.
So 10. You have a 9. So yeah,
she's
she's ready.
Oh, I got a 4. So
Yeah, she's ready. You're driving, so make a driving roll.
Get all driving roll.
I hear you guys crystal clear. Even Deyton's closed mouth muttering.
Nah. I got a 5.
Okay. You got a 5?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's enough. I mean, that keeps you on the road. So, are you doing anything in particular over there? Putting up another obscure area?
Did you, your keen senses on that? +2 were out of the thing.
No, that's
his driving.
That's just his driving.
Yeah.
He uses key senses to remember and navigate, but for this case...
Am I the last person for the entire round?
You are the last person for the entire
round.
You can put up another area of obscure between you and the
So
last
expensive.
area. Hey, if they can't find you, you don't have to fight them anymore.
That's a good point. So yeah, I'll make another one just on the outskirt of the obscure, another obscure to double the size of the obscure.
All right, make a roll.
Wish Praxis was here.
We're friends of Praxis.
Always friends of Praxis.
6.
That's a 9.
Oh, it's a 9. Never mind. Sorry, 9.
9? Oh yeah, that's with a raise, so another one goes up.
It's super dark. It's raised dark.
More ashes. 5 of diamonds.
You're moving up 1 at a time.
I'm back, on my regular
like
rolls.
your next increase, you might want to get some power points.
Yeah, right.
But you also might want to look at like level-headed or quick.
Yeah, right.
7 and a 9. You are
I don't know. I kind of prefer going second or third place because I have a little more now I know what's going on about it.
a 6. Man,
It's all good. They're getting a 6 too.
10.
Damn it.
Wow. Okay. Nothing comes through.
Is that on to me?
Yep.
I guess I'm driving.
Drive. Flip that bus. Flip that bus.
So just to explain so far in this session, I have
driven.
I've driven or I've just been too
Dodged.
hot to do anything.
Yeah. Hey. And Praxis is a friend of you.
7. You drive very well.
All right. You guys get away.
You make cool
nothing.
NASCAR noises.
Nothing comes through. Nothing comes through the obscures. You have successfully gotten away.
We did it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
We successfully drove away.
You're not. Your tires aren't melted. You're doing all right. You just got to go through that again on the way back.
And I wasted the potion.
And is that the only one you had of that one?
That's the one I had written down, so I'm assuming so, yes.
Because you had multiples of the other one, right? You can use that card. You're out of
Oh, yeah.
combat. You had multiples of the other ones, right?
Yes. I think I wrote down what I specifically held on to, and it was one of the acid neutralizers and one of the antenna blockers. So
Okay.
I still have an acid
Yeah, I just
neutralizer.
wrote down that he gave us some or one.
All right. So before you guys get to the edge of the lake and set up the relay and talk, we're gonna take a quick break.
All right.
All right.
Sure.
All right. We'll be right back in like 5 minutes. Mm-hmm.
There's technically a couple cans of beer in the main fridge.
Oh, that's true.
From
Should grab those.
cans that I brought that one time
Yeah.
that Shane gave you.
Grab them.
No. Unless you splash it with water in your face. Allergies are feeling better, but I'm still a little warm.
Warm.
Yeah.
Warm. That was a good thinking. The obscure and that. I completely forgot I gave you that antenna
I've
neutralizer.
been holding on to it. I was like,
That's good use. Good use.
the GM can't pretend like he knows about it if he doesn't know.
So we have here.
Oh, did you get these from Shane?
Yeah, Shane gave them to Deyton like a long time ago. We were still gaming with Robert and them. All right. How's that stream going? Any issues out there, Robert? Streaming well? Is it stuttering? Did it stop at all?
I forgot he named his character Joss Fillion.
Right?
I wish I had some sort of like psychic sense. Because every time we do this, I'm always like, this skill's kind of low. It's only at a D4, but I haven't had to use it yet. So what are the odds that I have to use it in this session?
RPGs are constantly chasing skills you don't have or that are too low. Like
Yeah, right.
you're gonna put a D4 in your driving, not gonna use it for another 10 sessions.
Like, freaking.
Oh, he says I'm beautiful.
Like, I've been thinking about it, and I'm just like, well, every other session we just drive. Like, there's no having
Nothing.
to roll.
You throw that away, Mitch. Throw that away.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. All right.
What are reasons for Minnie's character sheet? That's what that is.
Ready? So, one thing I should remind you of is that, you know, if you're thinking you're going to have to go back through this psychic area, the alchemist that made you that stuff is at Dockwell.
He's in.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you,
it's like
if you just
farther.
decided to push on and, you know, do the entire trip up there, you could resupply, but then you could also, you know, you have more chances of running into more as I take it on the
We
way
also
up.
only have a week.
Yeah. You'd have to, like, you're going to cut yourself down to like a half day of negotiation if you go all the way up there. And that's, you know, yeah, the whole thing. You cut yourself in time short, otherwise, but you can restock your anti-Zatic stuff
Yeah.
if he's still there.
We did just gain a little bit of time. I had to accelerate.
You did. You were driving like a bat out of hell through that forest.
I didn't flip shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta drive back.
What do you want? What do you want, Robert? You want this? Oh.
Let me try the Pilsner. That sounds good.
So is the plan still just to radio in, or do you want to go there?
Let's just radio in. If we come back and we have this actinic on our trail, maybe we can lure him to the track. I don't know.
They messed you guys up.
Yeah,
like,
same. It makes more sense to continue on and resupply because that's the only way we got away.
Yeah.
While we were driving, I was more or less useless as far as my shooting.
Maybe at this point we might need a rest and dock wall. I mean, I don't, but...
Is there any way, if we make it to Dockwall and then back to Castle Hill, will I be able to use the ley line like I did last time to communicate with that dragon?
You cannot, but Denny can.
Okay. Because that'll save us the time. We'll knock 2 days off the trail, or however long it took us to get
So
there.
it's, if you're making this, like if you go to Dockwall and you have to rest and you have to take some time, more than a day, then you are relying on the fact that you'd have to have Denny communicate with the dragon. First off, you'd have to get Denny to say yes and communicate with the dragon. Otherwise, you're not making it back in time.
How do you feel about your persuasion skills?
That's going to be okay. Talking to her is not going to be an issue. I think I might be able to persuade her, but what are we going to do afterwards? It's going back the way we came through that Zytidic forest. It's going to be bad.
Well, once you, like, if you successfully convince her and go to Dockwall and communicate and everything turns out fine, then you can load up with all the stuff from the alchemist to make your way through.
It's just a time thing. I'm afraid of running out of time. But yeah, let's
I'm saying, like, if you communicate with the dragon, then time is no longer of an issue. Like, if you convince Denny to say yes, she communicates with the dragon via the ley line, then your time restraint is gone.
Well,
But we have to get to Castle Hill.
You'd have to get to Castle Hill.
That's what he's worried about.
Oh, yeah.
Because to get there, we might run into...
It's only like half a day to get to Castle Hill.
let's run with this. I don't know how you feel about it. Let's run with this plan. Let's go all the way to Dockwall and talk, because it'll help him talk directly anyway. I'll have an advantage, but face to face always makes more sense. Yeah.
You are known there. You're heroes. You're not just some voice over a radio saying who you are, coming from out of nowhere. You've saved both those towns and both those people's lives, like those groups. So being there might help.
As long as they're there.
As long as they're still there.
Well, shut up. I don't know. How do you feel about this plan?
It's fine with me.
All right, let's do it.
We kind of have to commit.
Yeah, she is wounded, like badly. So she's all for just resting.
All right, let's do that.
So.
Are you wounded?
No. Like I soaked my damage.
He spent his one Benny. So we got nothing left. All right. So once you hit the lakefront, essentially, there's a much more established infrastructure. Though you found out very quickly you want to avoid any place that was ruins of the old world, because it has those slag hounds in them. So the moment you start driving through, those molten-mouthed leather hounds come out and try to eat your tires.
That's if we get where? Sorry.
Anywhere, like, so there's a lot of towns and civilization around the lake from pre-Rift's Earth. Mm-hmm. They're all infested with the slag hounds. Slag hounds. Slag teeth. That's what they're called. So you'll drive along the road, but once you see like a town or ruins, you have to go around it. So
I need to roll for that.
no.
Make a left. No, you made it right. I'm sorry.
Feeling a little confident in my driving rolls right now. Not too confident.
Not that
All right,
confident.
so we have to skirt the whole lake to get over there to Dockwall then.
You can drive along the roads that are along the lake. Just stay out of the towns that used to be there.
More or less, this is just adding a little extra time.
Yeah,
Okay.
but not in I mean, you're
Split the
already.
party, I'll grab a quad and go through town.
You can't hurt me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can. Ah.
Ow! You still have teeth. They still tear through flesh. So you approach Dockwall from the opposite side. You approached it last time. So you drive up. It looks much the same.
It's only been like a week.
No one's yelling at us or shooting something at us because we're in a van that's or a bus that's
coalitioned
painted
up.
kind of like coalition.
No. Obviously, they're probably going to try to pretend that they're still sympathetic. But as you approach, obviously there's a guard up in the gun tower that's like waves you down. But the gate is open. I mean, he's just waving you to stop because he wants to know who you are.
Well, I guess I would poke my head up and be like, "Hey, it's just us. Can we go? Can we come in?"
Once he sees that it's you guys, like, did you steal from the coalition?
Sort of. It's not stealing if they're
Something
dead.
like that.
Yeah, not stealing if they're dead.
And they weren't really coalition, so. They let you in. Obviously. The town of Dog. You can go down to the town
What's your
hall
persuasion over there.
where Mayor Parrish and Meister Brandt and Sheriff Quinn will all meet you. Also Danae. They will all meet you there.
So I guess I would, I'd be like, "Hey, it's good to see everybody again," or whatever. But I think I'd probably get right to the point about what's happening. That it's a big deal. There's a dragon that's currently at the edge of destroying or taking a town over forcefully, and we're trying to get it to not do that by occupying Castle Hill. The issue, though, is that it wants subjugates. It wants to rule. But I don't think you have to be ruled by it as much as you would... Well, I was going to say there's plus and minuses. I don't know, kind of skinny the
You
plan
can skinny the plate of it.
Yeah, like basically just tell them, like, this dragon means some good things and some bad things, but mostly good, especially for magic users. It offers protection. It offers independence from the coalition for sure, 100%. It gives them chance to study the ley line as long as they kind of work in harmony with the dragon and don't go against him. And this could ultimately be a good thing. The dragon might also be able to research the lake behind Dockwall for them and kind of incorporate the entire area into one.
The lake is not magical.
Okay.
The lake,
something's been dumped in there.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, it's like
something has
stuff. That's right.
Yeah, something has irradiated it, but it's not radiation. It's energized the lake somehow.
No, just the dragon's taken an interest in the land from Castle Hill all the way to Dockwall. So if you guys were under its wing, you would gain more land yourself. The patronage or the matronage. That's a woman's matronage. Yeah. The matronage of a dragon, and you would get extra ability to study the ley line.
And you'd have the stones and all that.
Yeah,
so, all right. Good talk. Persuasion. Yeah, I need to know.
9. Just kidding. 5.
No betting, right?
No.
Well,
I mean, I had 6 and 5.
You want to add 2 cents in?
Sure.
Well, tell me. What do you say? What do you have to add to all this?
Also,
what do you contribute to the conversation?
What would I contribute to the conversation?
Tell me about how powerful the dragon is.
I mean, yeah, I guess I could just speak to Denny specifically about, did you tell her like the actual experience we had with the dragon?
Maybe not, just that it was there, yeah.
Just say like, so this is what it had set up, this is what it did to us, and this is what it was capable of right on top of the ley line with Iggy over there.
And that it was impressed with my power. It might be impressed
He
with
wasn't there for that.
Yeah.
Roll.
Persuasion?
Mm-hmm.
Double sixes.
2.
By 2? Nothing.
All 2.
You accidentally say something insulting about her family.
I'm gonna go back and
Hey,
get
Denny,
my
your mom's
bus.
ugly.
What?
So Shani is going to chime in.
Say something nice. Hey, Denny, your mom liked one of my Instagram posts from 2 years ago.
Shani says, it would get it. Well, this thing is burning the top of a mountain right on the border to Chi-Town. If she raises enough suspicion, then it's going to cause the coalition to have renewed interest in this area.
That's a way better argument.
So, getting it away from there and up here, further away, where it's not sending out beacon fires to the coalition, is better for everyone in this area, is what she says. And she gives you a +2.
Oh, my God. So 14 plus 2 is 16. That's just an actual fact. 14 plus 2 is 16. I rolled a 5,
you rolled
so I rolled
5,
a 7.
so 7.
What the hell are you
I
talking
thought you had a
about?
7 before.
No, I had a 5.
Okay. So, it's still not a raise.
Yeah.
They're like, this seems kind of risky, and, yeah, there's other places like Laszlo and Tolkien both had dragons that were on councils, but just letting this one come up here and say it's going to rule us, that's kind of risky, and this and that, and we should all consolidate here. Though Denny really wants to go back to the lane line, she just doesn't have enough protection. Like, there's not enough people. She's like, I'd go and work with this dragon, but you're gonna have a hard time getting people to follow us.
What about your original followers you had that followed you to Castle Hill in the first place to practice magic? Was she there by herself when we went there the first time?
No, they were all dead because of the Skelelots. Like, there's only like a dozen that survived in that stasis
That's right,
rift.
that won't be enough.
Yeah.
Well, let's just head straight south.
Zombie
and
bots.
fuck everybody.
Yeah, screw them. Yeah, you need to come up with something else, something. One, I'll give you another roll at it if
Yeah, I gotta come up with a good idea.
you have to come up with something to convince people. It's not just Denny. It's you have to get citizens of Dockwall to want to go rebuild Castle Hill and be underneath the dragon and be around a lot of magic.
You could probably say something like, think about how much my magic has helped you. In addition to the fact that you don't want to be a coalition bootlicker, if you want to put your chips behind a winner, it would be a magic user and a dragon. Someone who's done good for you in the past, who's doing good for you in the future. It might be time to shift the management a little bit and let Danae take a little more on and teach you guys how to do this stuff as well and how to utilize this magical stuff to your benefit rather than being scared of it. That way, if the coalition does come around, not only are you have a new patron, but you also have new skills and a new found freedom for yourselves.
Anything to add?
I would just say emphasize saying working with the dragon, maybe not for, working with. Definitely wouldn't have to worry about the coalition in the future. They're not coming to attack a frickin' dragon.
Well, they will, but they'd much rather. They're not going to go almost all the way up to Zytikic territory to do it, versus being right on the border. Like, if she stays where she's at, they're going to send something after her, and that's probably going to route again, like Shani had already said, arouse suspicion. But yeah, this far up, this dragon will allow to be established for a while. They're not going to send coalition way up here. They've already shown that they've abandoned this area.
Plus, we'll ask her to be nice. So come on, dragon, be nice.
Well, almost at this point, like, if you can convince Danae, it's now Danae's issue to deal with the dragon and do that power struggle. But all right, so Shani really has nothing to add to that. So you're going to be making a roll. You're going to be assisting, or unless you want to try to talk and take everything he said and try to rabble rouse a group to go back.
We're rolling the same persuasion.
All right, so it's just that you have bennies and he doesn't.
It's Thereth. Is that the name of the dragon? Thereth?
Verarath.
Verarath. Probably got
Vimarath?
Yeah, Vimarath. That's what it was. Vimarath.
Vimarath. Yep.
All right.
So, who's talking?
You do have bennies. You're in a negative though, right?
No, I'm not negative.
You're not a negative with these guys.
Then fucking roll.
But you're rolling to give them a bonus.
Alright, so I got a 5. He
I
also
got a
got
5.
So he gives you a +1, so that's a 6. Do you want to spin a Benny to add to that?
Yeah, put another dice on it.
Or re-roll?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what my target number here is. So.
You want as high as possible.
Right, but it starts raising at 7, right?
8.
4.
So that's
10 total?
10. Okay.
Woo.
So you know,
We did some backflips.
as you're sitting there, as you're talking with Parrish, Brant, Quinn, Danae, and people are coming in. Like when a council's in session, anyone can show up. So people are coming in. You'd already had your kind of discussion. They presented it to everyone. Everyone's like, "Oh, we don't want to be underneath the dragon. Scary, scary stuff." But then you start putting the fear of the coalition in them. Like, hey, you just got out from underneath the coalition. You've seen what they're going to do. This thing wants you here, and it's going to be super powerful being on this nexus point. So you get enough people that you think you might have an argument, including Andy Brandt, Meister Brandt's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll go and lead the hunters of a group up there. You get a couple workers that'll go that are in the factory or the plant here. So you get enough of a base that want to start a new life and think this is a good idea, especially since this place is now just giving the finger to the coalition because they're not going to provide them with their energy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They're using the plant. That having 2 different places and having your population distributed is a much better idea.
Yeah.
So.
I should have said that. All right, well, we need to rush back then.
Well, you need to rush to Castle Hill
Yeah.
and have Denis contact.
That's true. Also, we need to speak with the that weird guy that made this stuff for us.
Right.
Rim?
The Quick Flicks.
Is that his name? Rim?
It is Rim.
Yeah, Rim the Alchemist.
Yeah. That's why I was like, why do I have Rim written down here?
Rim.
That's the guy's name. Mm-hmm. Hey, Rimmer, what's up?
Got any more of that good?
We want to buy an elbow of some xytitic coagulant.
Yeah, he's got stuff made. I mean, there's not a whole lot. Like, he has resources. He has to get resources to make this stuff, so you have to buy it.
That's fine. He had 3 things. He had one that messed up the antenna, one that was an acid neutralizer, and I don't remember what the third one did because I erased it.
The one that neutralizes the death smell.
The death smell, that's right. So we need a little bit of all of that.
Antenna disruptor, acid neutralizer, death set removal.
Yeah, I have some acid neutralizer left. I have like 1 whole serving of it. Might make sense to buy like 2 of each other one. How much is he charging for these things?
250 credits a bottle for each.
So 5, so we need $1,000 to get 4 bottles of stuff. How much money do you have? You got your comment held back.
Huh? Rim job by his peers. Rim job? So, what do you buy? How much of what? Or just write it down. I don't really need to know.
What do you want?
Yeah,
what do you want for?
No, I just used all the hearing, the antenna thing, and that one was really important.
That's super important with your obscure area.
So I'd say 2 antenna, and then 1 death smell, because we can use that kind of as a stroke. Then we have an acid neutralizer, but we could probably use another one. So that would be 4 bottles. That'd be 1,000 credits. You're gonna take 500 off, and I'll take 500 off.
I'll just pay the 1,000.
Yeah, you will.
Thanks for the steak fingers.
She'll buy 2 more of the antenna neutralizer.
All right, so that's
just to be sure.
All right, so it's 4 antenna. I wrote this kind of in shorthand too, so I better fix that so we don't look at it later. But what the fuck is that?
2 ant.
Yeah, antenna.
Apparently we have 4 ants with us.
So
that was 1 death, smell, and 1 acid.
neuter.
That's terrible. My pencil fell into the crack. There we go. All right.
You load up the bus with Denis and the other folk that are coming. Some are packing up and getting other stuff. They'll be there later, but you get a good sizable group going right now. Plus, load up the top of the bus with materials and things to start rebuilding.
Am I driving again or Shani?
Which one do you want? Shani has a drive of D6.
We should be letting her drive then.
She had just raised it a little while ago. So she can drive.
Alright, let's let her drive. It'll give you more chance to attack with me. Your guns will be a negative, but I feel like you...
You drive to Castle Hill, which is still abandoned and horrible. All the corpses are gone, but there's still parts of the zombie bots around and things like that. It looks like some scavengers have been through here and probably some predator animals cleaned up the mess.
Makes sense.
So Danae heads up to the Standing Stones in the ley line. You may want to stay in town and not get too near that place, otherwise you'll start getting fatigued. But you need to go up there.
So the ley line gives me my ISP back, right?
Right.
And then adds
It
10 to
supercharges
that.
it and then fills you up.
That's what I thought. That's what I did last time, kind of automatically. And I was like, why did I do that? I'm like, it's because I'm pretty sure that's what is supposed to happen.
Yep.
So I get let's do other things. Should we double these fixed? So I should get another 10%. So it would be 33. My ISP is 33. So
10%?
I don't know.
10.
10 full. That's right. So it would be 40 ISP altogether. Then. All right. Well, I am charged the fuck up.
And it drains off as you're away from it.
Yeah.
But you're up in the sleigh line, and Denis, it's technically a nexus because of the Standing Stones. So she's standing in there, and she creates this orb. And through the orb, you can look into it. You start traveling down the ley lines, and you travel down this ley line, and this ley line actually is it arcs and goes through, and it is the same ley line that goes across the mountain to the south.
Also, my voice will be super clear. All right.
So she shifts her perception, her ley line communication to that point, and the dragon's not there. It's not at the circle. So you're going to have to do something to try to get its attention so it comes over to the ley line.
So I'm astrally projected there.
You're looking through this orb that she has created.
So I can't manipulate over there.
So this is at a Standing Stone and a Nexus. Its laws are a little bit different.
Right.
You can do stuff through this point and it'll come out at the other point.
How am I gonna? What did I do last time I got her attention? Oh, I can reduce the flames.
Or you can create one there.
So let's. I
Create
was gonna say So let's just do the flame then. Let's.
Do a big old burst.
Yeah, let's burst. And I'm gonna, because I have some extra and I'm gonna lose it anyway. Let's spend the extra. So I'm gonna spend I'm gonna make a 4 PP cone straight up, which should be.
Now, are you also going to spend the 4 to give you the bonus to the roll, so you can get some raises in there?
Yep.
All right. So it's going to be this, 3 football fields worth of fire shooting out of this ley line.
All Alright, so I gotta roll for this.
Yep.
+4 to the roll.
+4 to the roll.
Let's get a 9.
Man, that's a raise, so that'll do all the extra bonus stuff. You just like the people at Wreckville, like literally, it looks like a volcano just went off on top of this mountain.
It spells out "Hi guys." Hi guys.
Hi guys. You.
It just spells "Give your nuts a tug."
Give your nuts a tug.
Everyone's like, "What the fuck does that
What?
say?"
Shorzy.
They look up. They're like, "Where did Shorzy come from?"
Where does he come from? That Shorzy was dead.
He was a pre-riff hockey man.
Man, I should have let you guys gone through Letterkenny somewhere up in Canada. They're all just still sitting there doing their normal stuff.
We show them a letter. They're all dead boys. They're like big.
So, Wayne's a full conversion board.
Yeah.
Yep.
His stand up at a +4.
Yeah. He has pneumatic legs. Pop them right up.
You sure your shoelaces are tight?
So, it doesn't take long before through the image of through the orb, you see the dragon comes down and is looking in. And it's looking at you. Are you hiding from me now?
No.
Displaying your power?
Well,
trying to...
I was just letting you know dinner is served. Come on down.
exerting your dominance on
I would probably
me?
tell her that no, I was just trying to get your attention. I wasn't sure where you were, and my abilities are not as powerful and well-rounded as yours. I just wanted to let you know that we have secured a small following, and if this ley line can boost my powers so easily with this person, then imagine what you could do with it. I think it's probably right for the taking if you want to come on down here and hang out.
No,
Something to that effect.
Persuasion. Oh, +2.
Dang it. Why is it +2?
Because you said the right things.
Woo, good thing it's +2, 6.
Still can't get that.
I just can't quite. I know I can't quite
I am
persuade
going to give you a penny for being so humble about the whole situation. So she turns to Dene and is like, and this is
between them probably.
yeah. Oh. Yeah. Denny just like starts like talking circles around the dragon. Not so much like talking circles like in a bad way, but saying all the right things. The dragon just rolled a 1 and a 3 on her dice, and Denny got an 8. So the negotiations are going well for Denny.
Gotcha.
To rebuild Castle Rock and repopulate it and have a dragon here. And Denny starts talking about Tolkien, and that there used to be a magical empire right over there, and like this was a refuge from that, and that also piques Vimarath's curiosity. So the negotiations go well, and Vimarath says, all right, I'll leave this tower to the villagers here, but I may return to view the sunset if the one there is not as appealing.
I'm just going to go back to Wreckville and be like, obscure sky. Obscure area.
Obscure area. No more sunsets for you.
Yeah, right?
So, that seems to have worked out.
Hey. Oh, mega power for light. Never mind. I was like, wait, I can ritually make permanent obscure, but I can only make permanent light.
You can make permanent light.
Yeah. I keep forgetting that I can also cast light. I keep forgetting about that.
Mm-hmm.
I obscure all the time. I never light anything.
Right.
Note to self, I have a fucking rope.
I mean, you create fire, so
Yeah,
obviously you create.
It hasn't come up yet. Yeah, it hasn't been an issue. Well, it took some brain digging, but I feel like it went smoothly. There was at least twice where I was like, oh.
Just the fact that like when the dragon started talking, you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to talk to this thing.
We've played Rifts before and we've encountered dragon before, but like in my brain, dragon is still like a fantasy archetype where like it's kind of the bad monster guy. It's it's an animal, not a person or a thing. And for me, it's more Rain of Fire and less like Dragon Heart. You know what I mean? It's more Matthew McConaughey, less Sean Connery.
You have wyverns in your mind.
Yeah,
not dragons.
Very much so. Especially after we played some, what was it, Dark Signs, where we fucking fight off that wyvern and its fucking brood. I was like,
I don't think it was nasty. So,
I think fucked our plans up twice too. So.
Vimarath tells you to wait there. Okay. She wants you to be there when she arrives.
That's always good.
Right. And she comes to Castle Hill. The gate has been reestablished, but the town is still kind of like just being picked up and redone. But yeah, she floats down into that castle and like it's kind of like a cat in a new location, like walking. She
stops in a circle around it.
Walks around, like rubs up against things, sticking its head in everywhere, sniffing, and then like
makes biscuits.
makes biscuits on the ground, and she even like goes up to like the peak because this isn't much of a mountain. This really is a hill. She goes up to the peak and like looks like she's nesting up there. Seeing what she can do with that, and she comes back down. But mainly, like she sits at the stone circle because that is a potent piece of magic right there. So she starts manipulating that and says that this is satisfactory to her and allows you to leave so that she can discuss the future of her ruling here with Denis.
You should have asked her to keep her eye out on her way over and kill any bugs that she sees.
It's not too late. I can ask her.
She's already here now, though.
Oh, like, hey, we're heading back to Wreckville. The Dock Wall. Castle Hill.
Wreckville.
Is there anything you might be able to do for us as far as Zytidic interference between here and there, or are we on our own with that? At least you're not shuffling cards. Roll for damage. You're like,
Make persuasion check. Let's see if she'll.
At least I've raised this a tiny bit.
Come on, in the kitty.
It's a good roll too. 4. God damn it. She farts in your face.
She's like, you seem perfectly capable.
All right, that's fine. There you go. All right, let's head back. What do you think? We got all of our. This is going to help us a lot. It did last time. It'll do it again, I think. So let's do it.
Do you want to drive?
Have Shani
Like I have no driving skill. Like there's so many gears. There's 3 pedals. Yeah. Obviously there's 3 pedals.
So you guys are driving through as I take come upon you. He's
She's like, to a halt. You juke. I'm like, juke? You press gas. Like, what?
Brake.
Juke? Is that a word for brake?
Well, you set out and you arrive back at Wreckville.
No. Okay.
Unmolested. You carefully pick your way through, watch for signs of this and
we're a
that.
little smarter about
Keep
it
your
this time.
nose out because in case you smell the other death smells
There was no
and things like
time
that.
frame this time. Like,
Right,
we were working on like a 3
You
day.
need to pick your way back, and it
turnaround.
seems like, as I take it, well, from what you're seeing, is that they're not as heavily presenced anymore in this area.
We did fuck their shit up twice, so.
And like everything, like they came through and stormed up and killed a lot of things, and then what do they do after that? Like once they've killed and captured everything they want to, then there's no reason to be there. So
Melted another's, I think, too. Every time we've seen those guys, I've melted one.
Brr.
I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna cut in my face every time to dig that out. I'm just kidding.
Wow, that would.
I just watched Death Race yesterday, so it's like
that's a good movie.
It was, you know what? I didn't see it because the original Death Race 2000 was pretty good. I loved that for the hand grenade.
Yeah.
Which is spoilers, sorry, but it's a 40-year-old movie. But the new one with Jason Statham, I was like not interested, and it showed up on Amazon.
Oh
Prime.
wait! Which new one?
The one that came out in 2009 with Jason Statham.
Oh, that one's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, watch the new one.
Oh, I haven't seen the new one.
That he did himself. What's his face? Corman.
Oh, okay. I'll check that
He
out.
did a new one.
Anyway, the 2009 one doesn't follow the story very well, or whatever, but at least it's like action. It was like background while I was doing my homework, so it was like, yeah, I'd look up and it's just shooting up cars and stuff's exploding. It was fun.
Now this one is the new one is super throwback to the old one, and it is amazing. It is pretty damn good. It's on Netflix. Death Race like 3000 or something like that.
That's right. It is 3000. Yep,
Something like
that's
that.
3000. Yeah.
So, you guys return to Wreckville. The mountain is no longer on fire. It's just smoking a little bit.
It's obscuring the area. You mean?
It's obscuring the area. Sorry.
The mountain is obscuring its area. All right, so I guess we go talk to Corporal A.A. Ron.
Corporal A.A. Ron.
We would like our
Money. For this round, why don't you tell him what everything was? You tell him what everything was. Each of you are getting 2,500 credits because you did deal with the dragon.
That's on the list of things to do.
The size of the threat is definitely a.
Yeah, I remember that being part of the discussion from before.
Ooh, I'm rich. I've never seen this much money. I would say my character has never seen this much money in his life.
Working your fabricating jobs.
Yeah, right. Town to town drifter.
You've also never bought things that were like, 250,000 credits in a shot
That's
type
true.
thing,
That's very true. That just happened when we bought the house. Like, going and getting a loan is one thing, but kind of from meager means when I was younger or whatever. And when we went and bought furniture, the day that we went to two different places and bought furniture from two different places, filled up 2 different rooms, it's like the most money I've ever spent in one day. Or I was like, oh.
Whoa.
They were like, what do you want for dinner? I'm like, Taco Bell. I feel very broke.
So, you guys are back in the hotel, eating steak fingers, drinking some beer. When the door opens from the bar side, not through the hotel, and several. They're not Cutters League, they're not uniformed, but these are definitely mercenary or thuggish type of folk kind of come in, 4 or 5 of them. And one is like beelines it straight for you.
Do your hockey stand. Do your hockey stand.
Who's the strongest man in here? That'd be me.
Go grab a rake and fix that gravel you upset.
And grab a rake and tidy up that gravel you've upset. Are you high? As he approaches you, he's got like a big old grin on his face. And he's wide-eyed. He's kind of skipping.
He's talking to him. Right?
He's coming up to you as a group. And that's when you also notice the pieces of metal sticking out of his head.
Great.
He has mom systems sticking out. He is a crazy. He comes over. Hey! These guys right here. Look at them. The heroes of Firewatch. Wow. Some Pied Piper action going on. Saving some kids. Taking out some dragons, St. George style. Grabs a chair. He turns around. Sits down.
George.
Who's St. George? Sits down. I am so honored to be sitting at this table with you. I know I kind of just sat down myself, but honored. Really honored. I am honored. I'm Zay, actually. My name's Zay. Hi.
Hey, it's glad your name's not Badger.
Badger.
I was like, this dude's name is Badger. I'm like,
I'm out.
Immolate the bar. Burst.
Oh, but wait, there's more.
Yeah, right.
He puts out his hand. Does anyone shake?
I shake it.
Okay. Got a firm handshake. A little bit too vigorous.
I sit like this.
Hey, so, word through the grapevine. Has any of you ever seen a grapevine? Has any of you ever seen a grape? No? Me neither. Alright, so the word through that thing is that you guys are trying to get through Chi-Town.
We're trying to avoid it if that's possible.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. See, I represent a company called the Asylum Cooperative. Asylum, but no asylum like you're safe type thing. We run a little underground railroad-ish thing. It's not a railroad, though, and it's also not underground. But it gets you through Chi-Town without any coalition entanglements. We have 50 successful runs. Where do you want to go? New Pueblo? You want to get to Missouri? Kansas? New Frontier? We can get you there.
For
money. I mean, obviously. We don't do this for free.
How do you go about getting us to the New Frontier?
This is genius. Genius. See, my brother owns a company in Chi-Town. So we have a corporate tag. I throw you guys in the back of a truck. We drive through as a shipment. Patrols just walk right over you, scan and bomb.
And then
I mean, not kind of bomb, but on. They move on. Yeah. Okay.
And then we pay you?
No, you pay up front. I mean, I gotta have that money then, but
it
we'll get you through.
Seems like a strange deal for me to give you all my money and then put myself in a shipping container and hope that I get where I'm supposed to be going.
Wait. When do you not pay up front for a trip?
It's through a crazy dealer.
Right? You gotta buy your tickets, man.
It's true.
It is super reasonable. Just 1,000 apiece.
Give us a second.
All right, I will give you multiple seconds. I'll give you as many seconds as you want. I'll be right over there. Steak fingers? Those look delicious. I am getting me... Zay. I'm going to get me some of them steak fingers. So he turns it around, heads up to the bar, and loudly says, I'd like some steak fingers. Oh, and another round of drinks for my buddies over there. Heroes of Firewatch.
Excellent role-playing, Wiley. I hate that guy already.
I'll say that was
you better not be Badger. Where's Badger?
I'd rather have Badger.
What do you think about this? It sounds too good to be true.
Yeah.
I guess we'd have some questions. I want to know how he found us.
I mean, well, we kind of made a name for ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, Shani's here.
Also...
That girl. Whoa, Johnny, you gotta stop doing that. Oh my god.
Also, he said, he had 50 successes.
50 successful runs.
How many unsuccessful runs, though?
These are good questions.
Good questions.
These are good questions.
Has he attempted 1,000 of these things and only 50 have been successful? That's not a good percentage.
It's true, but I mean, a coalition tag is a pretty strong weapon. If he has what he says he has, then it's literally just what we're looking for. The only problem is that if we travel with him, we might have to leave all of our stuff.
And you're definitely going to have to get rid of your vehicles.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
We no longer have our own vehicles. I mean, we can make up some of the money cost by selling off a bunch of this stuff that we have before we
And if you sell off your vehicles, once you get to wherever you're going, you can hopefully buy more vehicles.
Yeah, profit.
And you'll have that money when you get to where you're going,
And
just to start new.
We are rolling uphill money-wise. Every investment seems to be positive at this point. I don't know. I'm nervous about it, but it seems like a good bet.
Yeah.
No.
This seems like one of those, an elf told you something, never believe an elf. Let's walk right into their trap situations.
Never trust an elf. Never deal with a dragon.
Something tells me you probably shouldn't tell a crazy no either.
And we get a lot going on here, but our stay is not finished, I should say. I mean, we're getting free food, free room. We're the heroes of this place, and we have stuff to sell.
It's true, but we also...
We got to get out of here, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, you especially. But maybe we want to hang out, maybe ask around about this guy.
Makes sense. Why don't we set a deadline within like a couple of days before we give him our answer?
Yeah.
Because we can still say no, and I'm pretty sure we have the backup of the town, so he won't try anything too nuts while we're here.
And we need probably at least a day to sell the goods that we don't want.
And that's if we decide. Yeah, I agree. We might be able to trade with him. We might be able to give him the bus and the water purifier for our trip instead.
Yeah, I mean, he might. Barter is a thing, so.
Let's still probably go for the at least 2 days.
Never trust an elf. Never make a deal with a dragon. Never let the dog drive.
I did just fine. Rolling my D4 to success.
So,
let's give him a 3-day deadline. But we'll meet here in 3 days.
so you calling him back over?
Sure.
Hey! Flips his chair around, sits back down. What's the apps? What's the apps? What's the craps?
We're interested, but we have some other stuff to deal with. So can you give us 3 days?
Oh yeah, our next shipment doesn't go out for till the end of the month, so that's 2 weeks.
All right, we'll see you here in 2 weeks.
We should probably negotiate and do all that stuff before then. But yeah, as you were saying, I'm around town. Here, my bar is just across the other way of town. It's called the Lumberjack. You should come by. I'll buy you some Lumberjack. It's great stuff. It's like whiskey.
It's like Wreckville has 2 bars. Let's just stay
this
here.
bar is an hotel.
Yeah,
I mean, there's other
here.
bars.
Yeah, right. Let's just stay here.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go. I guess we'll start asking around, I guess.
Did you want to ask him any more questions?
That's right. So you have 50 successes. What are the failures? Success to failure rate.
7 failures, though 4 of those were recovered. We had seven failures, sort of. See, we bribed our way out of 4 of them. No harms, no arrests, no nothing. The other 3, not everyone made it through. I mean, shit happens. It's smuggling. You guys, I'm not worried about. Like, you just melt people down, shoot them up. I'm positive that you ain't gonna get hurt going through there if you get caught. Obviously, I'm not saying that you're gonna get caught, but yeah, 50-7. Come on,
All right.
good ratio.
What was the other question we had? What's the first thing I said?
What was the first thing you said?
Because it was yours. Was the success rate one?
I mean, a later one we can. Well, we're gonna negotiate with them later, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we don't need to talk about like bartering with them right now. With
No, that
like,
was sometimes later.
I don't know, what the hell did you say first?
I don't know. We had 2 good questions, but I don't remember one of them now. Robert, what did I ask him the first time?
So you had how many failures did you have? And the other one was I don't remember.
Yes, one second. It like went right out the brain.
Good question.
Was it another question or was it just?
No,
like,
we had 2 questions we wanted to ask him. The second being, what was your success to failure ratio?
bribes are also not on us.
Yeah, no, I got that. That's why he was kind of putting that point down.
Yeah.
I guess that's the only other thing we're going to ask him then, is he can't come up with the other question anymore. Oh, how did you hear? No.
Yeah. How did you hear about us?
How did you hear about us? Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you guys, come on. Dragon, saving kids.
So you're from Wreckville?
Oh, yeah. We're stationed right here. Well, most of us are here. See, down on the border wall, nice little town, that's where the trucks leave from, so that's where we'll be going. I don't stay there. It's way too crazy close to the coalition for me.
What's the name of that little town?
It is, pretty much, it's got a designation because it's a fort. It's a
okay, so it's like
a coalition, yeah.
Okay.
CS, BW something because it's a border wall fort on the coalition state. So this has got a designation.
All right. Well, sounds legitimate. We'll see you around.
Right. Any questions? Zay, any questions? Hit me up. He'll give you his radio frequency. Like, this is what we operate out of. Call me anytime. And he stands up, grabs his steak fingers, and heads out. And all his boys head out with him.
Do these boys look crazy?
No, they look like various mercenary types.
Gotcha. Oh, you said in the beginning.
Yeah, cyber. Yeah, there's a couple partial conversion Borgs. There might have, you smelled one of them. Smelled like a minor psychic. You didn't use any of his abilities though. All right. So Zay the crazy Zay with the Asylum Cooperative says he'll get you through Chi-Town. So that, and you got a couple weeks to decide and think. Next time, we will see what you decide there, or if something else happens in town to mess things up.
Yeah, right. Job always goes sideways.
Always goes sideways.
You just have to know which direction it's going.
Yeah, just gotta be ready to dodge. So next week, we good?
Yeah.
It's holiday season, all this stuff. I know the holidays are coming up, so it might be disruptive of our schedule. We will see everyone next week. Thanks for tuning in, Wileyverse.